Hey guys, Car Show 72 here in the Car Center of Excellence, KCE. Also, Izzy the dog is, well, I guess she doesn't want to be in the video today. Shop dog. All right, today's video, Unitronic Stage 3 was released today, and I've been running a beta file. I did the beta testing, or was one of the beta testers for it, starting last fall. So I've had a lot of time on this tune, 4 months, 5 months at this point. Including track time. So I've definitely put the tune through its paces. And what is, quote, stage 3? You know, people make fun of the staging conventions, but it's what the tuners use, and it makes sense. So what I had before was what they called a stage 2 plus, which was IS38 downpipe file, basically. Now we have IS38, but we've added the high pressure fuel pump from the GTI or the R. It's the same part. It's the 2-liter Hitachi fuel pump. And so with that upgrade, so IS38, the upgraded fuel pump, and a tune, it adds about, I believe, 40 horsepower. I'll link it in the description. You can go look at the dyno graphs and everything. It's about 40 more horsepower, and I think about 25 more foot-pounds of torque. It's noticeable. You know, it's as you continue to add power to these cars, you become numb to it. So it's, when I first flashed some of the files, I thought, yeah, you're definitely making more power. I have not done any drag racing with it, which is a nice way to look at quarter-mile trap speeds and times to see. But it's certainly making more power. I can tell just from the back straight at VIR top speed, around 140 miles an hour. That's pretty good, and that is a bit more than I was getting, I believe, on the older file. So adding about 40 horsepower. The upgrade itself is very straightforward. You're going to buy a high-pressure fuel pump, a vacuum pump, which is the bit that it attaches to. There's a cam follower piece that the camshaft sticks out, the exhaust cam sticks out, and is what spins and makes the fuel pump mechanically. It's a mechanical fuel pump. It makes it work. So you need the follower, the pump, the vacuum pump piece, and these two triple square bolts. I'll put the parts list in the description. I paid, I think, a bit over $700 all brand new at Volkswagen for all of this. You can certainly find used high pressure fuel pumps and the vacuum pump bit out there. They're usually sold together. I've seen them on eBay for a couple $100. So it's not a super expensive upgrade. It's not a hard upgrade. I think my son and I did this in 30, 45 minutes. It's basically just disconnected, unbolted, put the new one on, take the battery out, take the intake out, and then you have full access to it. The only sticking point is the 1.8 smaller high pressure fuel pump. This connector comes out the front, and so the harness that plugs into it is too short to reach around the back. On the GTI and the R, that harness comes from behind. So what I did was I bought the proper connector. I got like a 2-pack on Amazon for maybe $10 or something. And we just sliced open the Tessa tape, pulled the wires out, spliced in a new connector that lengthened it to plug in the back with slack. Just put a zip tie here. That was it. It's a really straightforward upgrade. They also released a DSG tune. I think they're going to call it a Stage 3 DSG tune. It is definitely a more aggressive DSG tune. I would say that's actually a pretty good upgrade. Drive mode holds the gears longer. So, you know, the previous DSG tunes to me were, the drive mode was effectively like stock in terms of shift points. I drive and drive almost all the time now. I finally find it very rare that I ever want to muck with manual mode or sport mode around town. I feel like it does hold the gears a little bit longer. I think the clamping pressure is a little harder, so it's a little more herky-jerky at really low speeds in like first and second. But from a performance standpoint, it's great. So Stage 3 DSG tune, Stage 3 the Hitachi fuel pump upgrade. Been great. I'm excited about it. I'm glad they finally released it. You know, if you have a Unitronic car with an IS38 and you've been wanting something else, this is a great, easy way to do it versus MPI, which a lot of people promote for these engines, which is adding the port injectors in the intake manifold here. And you have to put a new high pressure or low pressure pump in the tank. You've got to do the port injectors. It's just more cost You're typically going to have a custom tune. I think Tunezilla may now have an off-the-shelf tune for MPI, but this is a great way to get effectively kind of cheap, easy added horsepower by giving a bit more fuel so you can run a little more boost and make more power. So thumbs up. Again, I've been running October, I think. So October, November, December, January, February. That's 6 months. So I've had it 6 months with zero issues. I went through the beta files. I would go log it, and then they would revise it, and then I'll log it. And they've done that with several other owners of these cars, and so confident that the final revised file is fine. I run it on 93 without issue on track. So great upgrade from Unitronic on a car that's probably not getting a whole lot of love anymore from most tuners. It's just, again, if you have a Unitronic car and you want a little more and you don't want to have to pay all that money again to switch tuners, this is a great option to pay a few $100s in tuning costs and some hardware, and you're out the door with 40 more horsepower. Later.